Finally, week one of the 2020 football season, where your Chiefs are defending champions.
Let's go. And we're coming out victorious week one.
You did. This is true. You already did.
So we already got that. A lot of those teams had the Super Bowl hangover. We got that out of the way. Really pumped about that. We looked real well.
That was a good game.
Clyde Edwards Hilaire showed me a lot. I didn't expect them to go and ride him for 30 carries, but that's the way the tempo of the game
Right.
went. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs did a better job at managing around the less fans and the COVID and all that stuff. They did a better job all around. The Houston Texans had a lot of changes from majority of their offense last year was DeAndre Hopkins, and he's not even there anymore. Now it's Brandon Cook. So I think they're still getting used to David Johnson and the running backs, and they need a new scheme for who they got now. I think.
Oh, yeah. It was funny because we were talking about that pregame, and I was like, dude, all they're gonna do is come out. They're gonna run dive and freaking RPOs, and this is exactly
Right.
what they did. Because that was all anybody did against the Chiefs last year. And to be honest with you, it kind of worked, and then they boxed it. But David Johnson, in my opinion, looked good, and he looked, he was able to hit that one cut jump pretty well.
I'm fucking stoked about that because I got him in like three of my fantasy
Yeah,
leagues.
yeah. I think David Johnson will be a good player moving forward. He looked nice.
Oh hell yeah, you did. So anyway, so we're gonna jump into this. We're gonna start doing our week one picks. Next week, um, we might tap into some fantasy football hits and misses, things of that nature. But until then, now week one, before my fat ass gets pizza and wings, we're gonna make some predictions.
And if you guys aren't in New York, you don't know what pizza and wings are. Terrible. It's a shame.
I'm not talking about Domino's or Pizza Hut.
No,
I'm
that
talking about Salvatore's or Pontillo's, the good ones.
or your oven baked wings. Fuck out of here.
They just put them in a microwave.
Right. Oh my god, the worst.
Right. So anyway, so let's start off with the first game. And now that we're talking about New York and pizza and wings, Buffalo Bills at home in Buffalo against the New York Jets. Who do you got? And what is your? We'll do scores this week too. So give me your prediction for score and who wins.
I got the Bills winning this game. I think they have a hard time reaching past 17 points, so that's kind of like their threshold. But I think against the Jets, they'll put up some points, and I think it'll be 24-10.
10 only. Okay. So I think I agree with you. It's going to be the Bills. I think they are going to put up more points than is going to be usual this year because the Jets, all they had last year was Jamal Adams, and now they got rid of him. So um, Bills are going to win, and I think the score for me is going to be, let's say, 30-17.
30-17 Buffalo. Okay, Josh Allen might have a day, fantasy owners.
Right? I think so. I think he'll have at least one rushing touchdown, and I think he'll have one passing touchdown, and there will be some sprinkle of their run game. They're actually going to run a lot, in my opinion, but that's here nor there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Uh,
watching that game. I'm gonna curious to see how that run game looks with those young running backs.
right? Yeah. So the second game will be the New England New Look Patriots with Cam Newton without Mohamed Sanu against the Miami Dolphins, who I guess you can consider new look too, but isn't that every year with the Dolphins? So
Right.
I'll go first this time. I still have the Patriots winning this game over the Dolphins. I think it's going to be a sloppy game as far as all of the 1 o'clock games. You got Cam Newton who's trying to learn the Patriots, and the Patriots trying to learn Cam Newton. So I think it's still going to be the Patriots taking this W, and it's going to be 24-13.
24-13 New England. Yeah, I'm curious to see how Cam looks week 1 too. I'm actually gonna roll with him in my fantasy league. Um, just I don't think the Dolphins' defense is anything all that great, but I do have the Patriots as well. I was thinking like 28-14 New England.
Okay, that's too
And
bad. Pretty close.
yeah, I'm just curious. I think that they're gonna have like that same approach as what we saw the Texans do and just run RPOs all day, RPO dive.
Right. Yeah, I
So
can see that. I think Philip Dorsett was hurt. And Kill Harry's playing. Julian Edelman will be out there. Doesn't I think the Dolphins have the one corner that used to play for the Cowboys though? The Byron, what's his name? Byron,
yeah, Byron Jones is there. He's a stud. Also a stud in
right?
Madden for all you Madden players. Go cop him.
Right. So it'll be a good game. I think it'll be the score will be more lopsided at the end of the game than the game will actually be closer than the score presents.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I could see
so let's
that.
go into the next game. Will be the Baltimore Ravens against the Cleveland Browns. So that's going to be an intriguing one. And you fell on the sword in this one. You got this one first. What's your pick?
Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, I would I would
In
find it.
Baltimore.
Yeah, in Baltimore, I think Baltimore wins this pretty handily, like 35-14, something like that. I think they'll come out and put up some points, but I'm interested to see what Baker does, man. This is his make or break year in my opinion, and it starts
He's
today.
got talent.
He's
Got talent
got
around him.
he's got talent around him. He's got, Kareem Hunt just got a new deal. They got Nick Chubb. Let's do something.
Right.
Let's
Right.
show us
So,
something.
so who do you got?
Yeah, Baltimore like 35-14.
35. So you're hyping up Baker. Let's do something. Let's see this. And then you got him scoring 14 points.
Yeah,
And I'm sure one of those.
I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him.
It's funny you say that is because in our fantasy football league, or at least the one that I play with you guys, um, nobody picked Baker in the draft at all.
Yeah, he's hard to rely on for sure.
Right. I made that mistake last year and drafted him in one of my leagues, and by week 6, he was out of my lineup.
Yeah, imagine a world.
So right. So my pick, I'm going to agree with you. I think this is the third time we're agreeing back to back to back. Ravens are going to beat the Browns. I don't even think it's going to be close. I think the score is going to be 34-17.
Yeah, blowout city for sure.
Right. So I do think that Lamar Jackson has to change things up. He'll be easy against the Browns, but moving forward, if they try to play the same game as last year, they're not going to get very far.
Yeah, they can't come out and run that same like gimmick offense. That offense has to evolve, and Lamar has to evolve as a
Right.
passer this year, or
Right.
they're never gonna take that next step.
Exactly. Which leads us into the next game and taking that next step. And there wasn't a lot of trust in our fantasy league, even though there was free beer giveaways for Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Philip Rivers-led Indianapolis Colts. You picked first in the last game, so I'll pick first this game. I got the Colts winning this one. It's going to be closer than people think. I actually had this game 24-21, and I think it's won by a field goal in the last seconds.
Yeah. No Gardner Minshew sellouts here. That's for damn sure. Could you imagine just tanking your whole league? If it was like a free league, then whatever, do it. But if you're putting money into it,
Right.
like, no thanks.
Any
But
kind of money. Yeah, but even if I were to put money into it, I wouldn't do it because that's my like
that,
manhood. Like that's my man card.
right. But I'm curious to see
I know,
what
bitch.
I'm curious to see what Philip Rivers does today. I think that offense with Paris Campbell and Michael Pittman and T.Y. Hilton Could
Right.
could be pretty deadly this year. I want to see how they gel. I don't know if it'll be like this week, but if it's going to be any week, it'll be against the Jags. So I got the Colts winning this one 24-17.
So we got some close games, some close scores, and all 4 weeks we got the same team already so far. So let's see if we can keep that one going. Which next game I'm sure we do. So we have one team that doesn't know their identity, and I'm not necessarily talking about on the field. I'm also talking about off the field. The Washington football team against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles know their identity. They're a ground and pound, rough, tough type of team, if I want to put it that way. And the Washington football team doesn't know their ass from a hole in the wall. So this one's easy for me. I'm just going to go ahead and pick it, even though it's supposed to be you first. I'm picking the Eagles over this one, and I'm thinking 30-7.
Blowout. No respect for Washington. Yeah, I got my boy Carson Wentz rolling today, putting up some big numbers. So I'm right there with you. Probably like 31-3.
Whoa, that's even worse than mine. I had 30-6. I just had him scoring a touchdown.
Nah. The only way they score a touchdown is if I see Alex Smith grace that football field.
Dude, that would be nice to see, though, wouldn't it?
It'd be nice to see, but it ain't happening.
But I would literally be biting my tongue the entire time, like scared for him. Like, oh my God, if your leg breaks again, you're right on it.
I don't know if
All
he
right,
would survive.
right. So the next game will be a team that doesn't know their identity as a quarterback yet. Chicago Bears. They're rolling with Mitchell Trubisky against the Detroit Lions. Is this a Matthew Stafford year? What's your pick?
Um, I would like to see Matthew Stafford bounce back from that back injury or whatever he had last year. Nobody believes in Mitchell Trubisky. It was like a headline that he was named the starter. If you're getting a headline
Right.
to be named the starter of your football team, guess what? You're not exactly like hammered in stone in there. So
I still cannot believe that that the Bears picked this guy. They moved up. They traded with the 49ers in that draft. The Niners had three. The Niners had pick number two. They had pick number three, and they moved up one spot to get Mitchell Trubisky when the Niners weren't going to draft him.
in fairness, he hasn't had like the most amount of talent around him. Not the best defense really. It's all coming around. We'll see, but this is definitely a prove it year for him too. Like the new meta of the NFL is see what you can do on your rookie contract as a quarterback. And if you didn't even sniff the playoffs, let alone bring us near a Super Bowl, a lot of the time they
Right, but
move on.
it's a good move for the Bears too, because if he sucks, and when you roll with him and he sucks, guess what? You get a good pick next year, and there's some good quarterbacks coming out next year.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. But I do got Detroit winning this game. I think it'll be like a low scoring, or maybe not low scoring, but it'll be close 24-20
Mhm.
Detroit.
Yeah, yeah. The Bears defense is still good, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Khalil
take the
Mack.
Bears winning this game.
Khalil Mack's a Hall of
Yeah,
Famer, so
but I don't see the Bears winning this game unless Mitchell Trubisky can have one of those years from what 3 years ago when he played really well. I don't see it in him. I think he's lost confidence. Um, I think the Lions are going to win this game, and I think I'm going to put my money around 27-13.
yeah. He's got, you know, Nick Foles breathing down his neck.
Right. When Nick Foles comes off the bench, he wins though. So we'll see. So
Yeah,
speaking of coming off the bench, nobody's coming off the bench in this game, hopefully, or else people will go nuts with Aaron Rodgers and Love behind him. And the Green Bay Packers against Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota, which Daniil Hunter is out. Their offensive line or their defensive line is very thin. And the Packers seemingly got better on defense, stayed the same on offense, didn't get any weapons for Aaron Rodgers. This one's my pick. This is a tough one. This is probably the most tough pick for me. Uh,
probably one of the best games
I,
of the week, I would say. Is this a nationally televised
right,
game
absolutely.
or no?
I don't know. I have NFL Sunday ticket, so they all are.
Okay, flex on them. Go crazy.
But anyways, I think the Packers are going to win this game, and simply because there's no defensive line right now, and Aaron Rodgers, with time, is going to carve you up no matter who he has on receiver. So the Packers are going to win. I think it's going to be a 20-17 game.
Wow. Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength as you as far as it being a close game, but I was thinking 24-21 for the Vikings. I think they squeak it out. I think that running game is, top tier in the league. They got another receiver in Jefferson to complement Thielen. I like
Right.
Minnesota's defense. They did lose their corners, but the Packers don't really have receivers outside of Devontae Adams to be, worried about. But I think Minnesota
But they
squeaks one
got
out.
Rodgers, man.
They do. Rodgers could easily win this game. That's why I think it's 24-21. Rodgers could easily pull this game out, though.
So before we move on to the next game, I want to say something that I just got right now, in that the Patriots are exploring trading Stephon Gilmore.
Really? Who
Yep.
said that, though? What source is that from?
This is from, let me pull it up, from Jack Brown. And I believe he's a New England Patriots beat reporter. But anyways, it's from the Score, that app that I have.
Hmm. Um, yeah, that would. I mean, with what's been going down as far as trades lately, I mean, a guy like Stephon Gilmore would definitely warrant probably like two first rounders. So I'm not sure who's out there in that
You
market
think
for Gilmore.
you think
Yeah,
he's worth two first rounders? How old is this guy?
I don't know if he's worth two first rounders, but that'll be his value.
Right,
Because
right.
Jalen,
I think
what
I
did
don't the
Jalen
way Bill
Ramsey?
Belichick is. Bill Belichick's not looking for draft picks.
Belichick
He might be
loves
looking
draft
for a.
picks.
No, he does. But I think with Stephon Gilmore, he'll trade for a player. I think you can get a young player that's proven. I could see Bill Belichick getting both player and draft picks.
Yeah, I mean that's I don't know. I don't know. We'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But
But anyways, so I chose the Packers on that one. You chose the Vikings. That is surprisingly the first one that we have different teams in these predictions thus far. So the next one, I think we're going to differ again. I can only guess, but um, I think there's another big game though, in my opinion. So the Seattle Seahawks go into Atlanta to face Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Todd Gurley, and the Seahawks have Jamal Adams. Uh, so this is your pick.
this is another good game actually. Now that I'm like thinking about it and thinking about this matchup, I got the Falcons winning this one like 28-17. I think that offense is probably still in tune, you know. And I think that
Right.
Seattle defense is kind of like weakened, even though they got
And with
Jamal.
Jamal Adams,
Even though they got Jamal and Bobby Wagner, I think overall, you know, talent wise, I think the Falcons can come out and exploit them week one and put up some numbers.
yeah, dude, they have no rush. They have no defensive line on that Seahawks team. They let Clowney walk. I think Michael Bennett retired. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a depleted defensive line. They're not going to do anything. So I actually agree. I do agree with you because I thought you were going to pick the Seahawks there. I think the Falcons are going to win this one handily, and by handily, I say 30-17.
Damn. Sorry. Yeah, I think you're saying that because you're a Niners fan, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's concerning though because I can really I don't I, it was hard for me to say that number 17 for the Seahawks because I'm pretty confident that Russell Wilson can put up more points. But I think the defense on the Atlanta Falcons is better than what people think.
Yeah, I think the Falcons can be a team to really look out for this year. It seems like at the
Right.
end of the year last year they were kind of starting to put it together. See if that momentum carries over.
Yeah. So speaking of momentum and trying to get things together, both these next two teams against each other are trying to do just that. One of them in your favorite Las Vegas Raiders and John Gruden, and who I don't think is his favorite quarterback in Carr, against the Teddy Bridgewater led Carolina Panthers with Robbie Anderson.
Yeah,
So that one is mine, and I'm going to go with the Panthers here. I'm going to go with the Panthers in a slugfest, and this one's going to be a 23, 23 to 23-17. I think the Panthers are going to take this one.
23-17 Carolina. Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of Brady Tidgewater. I'm curious to see how he looks as a starter
Did
with
you
the
say Brady Tidgewater?
yeah Brady Tidge man as a kid. Brady Tidgewater man. I think that offense with Robbie Anderson, like you said, he'll have a nice security blanket with him. Oh, I don't know. I'm just rooting for that kid. I just like him. So I got the and I just don't like the Raiders at all. Obviously, cool stadium, shit team. Carolina 20-10.
Cool story, bro. So, so the next one is kind of similar with two teams that are trying to up and come, but one team's been trying to do it for a few more years, but have had these horrible injuries, mostly on defense in your Los Angeles Chargers, who again lost Derwin James for the year against the new home of Mr. Joe Burrow, Mr. LSU of the Cincinnati Bengals. This is your pick. So what do you choose?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow coming out and getting his first win as a rookie and really making a statement today. But I think the team's going to be carried by Joe Mixon all season. He just gets his deal done. He gets an extension. Now it's time to go out there and earn it. And
Right.
and Joe Mixon's a stud. He's one of the best running backs in the league, and I think uh, Taj Boyd might have a big game today in that depleted Chargers secondary. But I think the Bengals come out and they put up some points actually and win this game like 31-17.
Whoa, nice. Oh, so that's a lot of points. So I went on the opposite spectrum on this one. So I really think that the Chargers are going to win this game for the simple fact of Tyrod Taylor it has more experience. I think Joe Burrow is going to have a better career, but coming into this game with everything going on, the stability of Tyrod Taylor, and he doesn't turn the ball over. I think they're going to win, and it's going to be a low scoring game. I want to say like 17-13.
Yeah, I could easily see it being a sloppy game too, though. For real.
Right. So the next game is definitely not going to be a sloppy game. The next game after this one, um, which actually, who picked last? You picked last. Yeah, you picked first last. So this next game, I got to pick first. And obviously, this is a kind of an obvious one of what I'm going to pick, but the 49ers against the Cardinals. Obviously, I'm going with the 49ers because I'm a Niner fan. I think I would go with them even if I wasn't a fan. I like Kyler Murray. I like DeAndre Hopkins and the route that they're going, but their defense concerns me. I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. I think the Niners are going to put up 40.
Wow,
I think it's
wow,
going to be 40-28
oh
or
wow.
40-30, something in that range. It's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think some points are definitely going to be scored in this game. Um, Man, I could see the Cardinals stealing this one, but I think the Niners squeak it out 30-27.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for sure, and especially with the wildfires that are going on over there. Apparently, their air quality level is at 170, so the NFL said, "Hey, it's a go. Go ahead and play." is that 200 is that threshold. So I'm just happy that nothing was messed with in my fucking 49er game. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, I just
The
think
next game is the last of the. What's that?
I was gonna say I think DeAndre Hopkins just has a big game, like 150 and 2 touchdowns in his Arizona debut.
He might. He might. I can see that. But anyway, so the next game I think is the best 4 o'clock game. Again, I'm a Niner fan. This game is a better 4 o'clock game with the New Orleans Saints and the Drew Brees led team against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, a thing of the past.
Oh no, brown cow.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go with the Saints in this game. I think they're just defensively. I think that they're a little bit better than the Bucks, and I'm not sold on the Bucks. I'm not sold on Brady there. You're going into the Saints where they're an established team. They know what's going on. So I think they win this game, 28-10. I don't think it's going to be anything special.
Okay. I'm with you on the Saints winning. I'm not with you on how big that score differential is. I think it's going to be 30-20. 30-20. That's what I'm going with, and that's what I'm sticking with. I think Tom Brady is a little in over his head, no matter how good he is. It's just the Patriots were built for so many years on that one scheme, and you can't just bring a scheme over them here. You can't.
In one broken off season, I don't think you're learning a whole new scheme
right.
and just coming out week one and rolling.
Right. So, well, I mean, we'll see, but we feel like that's.
But it's also not hard to scheme 5-yard ins, slants, drags, and running back table routes. And that's all Brady throws.
That's not good for Brady's arm over time, especially when he's getting older, in my opinion. And I could be wrong because the guy's obviously not human, but at some point his arm's going to lose drive and lose that whatever you call it, torque that he has on the ball. He's going to lose it eventually.
Yep.
So we'll
see. At an elite level, though, is what I'm saying. It's not like Brett Favre still can't come out and fucking wing a ball to the point where you're like, oh wow, but at an NFL level.
Yeah, well, the level that he's accustomed to.
Exactly. Yeah. I just don't want to make it sound like this guy's decrepit.
No, it's just how life works. It's the nature of the beast. When you've done something the same way for 20 years and all of a sudden you don't have the accuracy or the torque that you might need to put a ball somewhere, your mind doesn't connect those dots. So your mind is still going to try to put the ball there, and it's not going to get there fast enough, and it's going to be picked off, and that's what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Your timing is just that much more off because you don't have that extra oomph on the ball.
Yeah, and your mind is not thinking, I can't make this throw, because why not? You've made it for 20 years.
Right, send it, full send, baby.
Right. So let's scoop up a little bit. We got these games in 20 minutes, so we're on to the Sunday night game, the first game in the Rams/Chargers Stadium. The Los Angeles Rams and Jared Goff led against the Dallas Cowboys and the Dak Prescott of the future, or after this year done. So this one's my pick. I'm going with the Cowboys on this. I think various things are going to be close. I'm going to say Cowboys score 34 to 20.
Oh wow!
And that score is closer than what the game is. It's really going to be like a 34-13, 34-14, and they'll score a garbage time touchdown.
I think the Rams have the ability to win this football game, but I expect that offense to put up some numbers. I don't know if they're going to score exactly, I think Dallas plays more of a bend don't break, So like Cam Akers and like Cooper Cup, they'll probably have, solid fantasy games, but
Oh yeah, so,
I think Dallas comes out, and I think that they actually win the football game. I think Zeke, eats and they win it 30-17.
okay. So we're close on score, somewhat. So the next game is the first of the two Monday night games, and this is where the New York Football Giants, led by Danny Dimes, and the Big Ben is back on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's go,
This
Big
one's really
Ben.
heated up.
Comeback player of the year. Ben Roethlisberger puts up a W tonight in a big way. He comes in there